Vinny Eastwood, always a pleasure trying to make light of genocide. Welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much. It's always my honour to be here when I actually remember and get reminded. Thank you so much for reminding me, by the way, Matt, because the people who have spoken so far tonight are like so up there on my respect hit list that it's unbelievable. And I mean that in a good way. I'm Vinny Eastwood from thevinnyeastwoodshow.com. I've survived for the last 8 years almost entirely on listener donations and support because I have pretty much anybody on my show talk about any topic for as long as they want to talk about it until they either, if they're lying, have enough rope to hang themselves with, or if they're telling the truth, they have enough time to tell their story in the full completeness with somebody who is going to make light of the situation so they feel comfortable enough to keep continuing to tell their story as nobody's ever heard it before. There's no tenseness, there's no pressure, there's no preparation. It's simply two people sitting down having a conversation. And it's fun. And that's the main ingredient that I try to inject into the show because I believe it's the most important in a world so full of darkness, fear, craziness, psychopaths and scumbaggery. We have to have fun. Otherwise, there's not really much point to living.
Well, they say humor is medicine as well. They say or have done studies that humor does heal the body. So I guess we're back to the same mindset, using food as medicine and then using humor as medicine, all about healing the body. So welcome this evening, Vinny. Okay, all the way up there in Washington State in the United States, Suzanne Polzo got a brand new radio show going on. Welcome.
Yes, Hardline Radio is back on the air on American Freedom Radio, which is, in my opinion, the only station that is run by a man with the highest morals and in ethics and integrity in this entire industry, and I mean that.
Hey, wait, whoa, hey, come on now, not so fast.
Danny Romero is an amazing human being, and I am honored and blessed to not only know him, but be a friend of his. And 18 months was a long time to wait, but it was worth it, and I would not have my show on any other network. I absolutely adore Karen to death. She is amazing. She is so awesome. You just want to hug her. She's just awesome. You just want to be next to her all the time. And what she created with United We Strike, and the fact that I'm honored to be here and that she asked me to join in is amazing, and everything that we do here is spectacular. But Danny Romero is amazing, and American Freedom Radio is back on the air, and I'm honored to have my show Hardline Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Central for 1 hour. It's a blockbuster hour filled with lots of information, and archives are up for mine and Vinny and everyone else's show on there. So please go take a look in the archives if you didn't get to listen to our shows live. Of course, I'm the chief editor of OccupyCorporatism.com, headline news with facts and evidence, so we can actually change some of these things instead of just complaining about them. And that's about it. I would like to extend my portion, but I don't have anything else to say, so I'm going to defer back to Matt.
Well, welcome. I'm glad you got your show back, and I'm glad you're working with somebody with integrity. You know, we've had what I would call infiltrators here at UnitedWeStrike.com in the beginning, and they did create havoc, and it was difficult for us at times to continue this broadcast. But, we have a little better control over that now. We have our own production facilities and stream going out to the internet. So it makes life a little more easy on our production staff so that we can bring you these programs. But it's a pleasure to be with you all here tonight. My name is Matt Navarro. I host the New World Order Report that can be heard on Wolf Spirit Radio the first Saturday of every month, and here on UnitedWeStrike.com the second Saturday of every month at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I try to have two different guests. My guest this week couldn't make it, Ole Damagard. investigative journalist, or was an investigative journalist, author, looking into false flags and conspiracy theories. He's been having internet problems. No surprise there. So I replayed the show I did last week on Wolf Spirit Radio this month. You can go to my homepage, nwoodor.com, and take a listen to that. Let's see. I don't have a topic chosen tonight. I know there was some chatter a little earlier before we came on the air about a topic that somebody wanted to pick. So let's open the floor up and see what comes out. Anyone?
I wanted to talk about weed, man, and pot and marijuana, whatever the millions of names there are for it. And how good it is in so many different ways, and how terrible it is in so many ways, that it's illegal and people are being punished for possessing it. And I don't know.
But, you know, I'm really eager to talk about that too, for a whole bunch of reasons. One of which is that the Natural Solutions Foundation, of which I am the medical director, has a project in Chile, where I'm sitting now, where it's not chilly. It's actually quite lovely, but that's only a problem if you don't consider the spelling. Anyway, that was a feeble attempt at a joke. Never mind that. We have a project in Chile where we have partnered with the guy who has the first and only industrial hemp license here in Chile, and the purpose of that is to produce the world's only certified organic low radiation CBD hemp oil and hemp product, so that we can bring it forward around the world and drop the price, which is not exactly what capitalists do, but it's what people who are doing things on principle do. CBD is where the medicinal quality is. I wrote a fairly well-researched paper recently, which I'll be happy to send to anybody who emails me, or goes, actually, best thing to do is go to my Twitter, at DRRIMALAIBOW, at Dr. Rima Labo, and asks for it. It's a very, very well-referenced paper that shows that the myth that THC is where the healing is very dearly held, but it's not supported by science, in spite of, Phoenix Tears and all
Somebody's
the rest
typing
of it.
back there. I think it must be Am Rosen.
Yeah.
My name, my friend.
we are
somebody was.
very eager. We're looking for funding right now to build our greenhouses, get our seed in the ground, and produce this magnificent stuff. I agree with you, but I have a little secret for anybody who says, yeah, but that's illegal. No, it's not, because your body makes it itself, and the overriding legal framework, the United Nations Conventions on Psychoactive Drugs, names THC, but it specifically does not name CBD, because it would be like making your left thumb illegal. Your body makes it, and therefore it has to be legal, and it's legal all over the world. That's pretty exciting.
And also, one of the other elements that I've found about the medicinal use of cannabis is how many kind of, I don't know, the medical equivalent of loan sharking that's going on, where people are promising things that they can't deliver, watering down their products, that sort of thing. The Rick Simpson method, for example, has worked in all the trials he's done, and a whole lot of other people have come up with all these other formulas that they say is the Rick Simpson method when it's not, and he's drawn heaps of flack from things that people that didn't follow his instructions properly, that kind of thing. And also Suzanne Posel has a very reputable CBD product that's been tested and is it's almost 100% pure, isn't it, Suzanne?
Oh, yeah. It's the crystalline version. It does not include... The problem with the hemp paste, including all of the products out on the market except for mine, is that the hemp paste itself. When you get, let's say, a pound of hemp paste, it's 15% CBD, 85% fillers, wax, toxic solvents, live microbial life. And this is according to Tamar Wise, who is the former head scientist at Dixie Botanicals, who created their line of products and has since left in 2012 because she couldn't take it anymore.
And she decided to design Dixie cups instead.
And she's been quiet because she signed agreements, and she can't speak. She has contracts, but the product, the Crystal Pure CBD that my husband and I put together, it is triple concentrated. It's triple extracted. It does not contain THC. It does not contain any plant material. It does not contain any paste. It is pure 99.999% cannabidiol. And I am constricted by the FDA as well. And there have been a lot of letters sent out to corporations like Cibidex and Erythritol, which is a corporation that I was working with a year ago, and we severed our ties with them a year ago because of unscrupulous business practices. And I don't like that or adhere to that or work with people like that. So when I was shocked when I saw these FDA letters sent out to Erythritol that these products don't even contain the amount of CBD that they're claiming, and they're lumping the hemp paste in with the CBD, and you can't do that when it comes to how much CBD content is in the material. So that's why we put out Crystal Pure CBD, because if you want the effects that you see at PubMed, these 1,300 studies that show positive effects on everything from a stomachache to cancer, then you have to have the crystalline version, because they're only testing the crystalline version. They never test the hemp paste because it's filled with toxic fillers. So my husband and I thought, well, if they're doing that on the pharmaceutical level and GW Pharma is working on a synthetic version, why can't a plant version of this be available to the public so we can see the effects that they're seeing in these studies? And lo and behold, that's what we have. And lo and behold, our customers are reporting effects that are similar to what is being seen in these studies. And everything from their grandmother to their 8-year-old daughter to their dog.
Yeah, we definitely need
Oh, go ahead, Sky.
We definitely need to have therapeutic levels of CBD medicines out there, because a lot of the junk that has gone before us is not therapeutic, kind of scammy, and it's great to see what's happening. Actually, a lot of this came from the work that my dad did with writing the legislation for Proposition 215 over, 15 years ago now. And one of you should interview him, because he actually passed a law and then was growing his medicine up in Lake Tahoe and got busted. And they came in there and said, that may work for those fags down in San Francisco, but not up here in Placer County. And he spent 10 years fighting court battles as a reefer refugee in Canada, came back to the States, and then ended up fighting this battle because his case, cancer of the adrenal gland, his case set precedence for his medical case, because doctors all over the world, even the Mayo Clinic, said the cannabis was the only reason that he has survived this rare form of adrenal cancer. And since then, he's made a company called it's a company that's on publicly traded called CBDS. That's on the over the counter now, and so I guess it's the fourth biggest producing marijuana stock company now. They have branded by High Company, and they're coming out with a lozenge called the Cubby. And there's a CBD version, and there's a very powerful sativa version for pain. And so someone was jumping in there, wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. One of the things that we must all do is, until we win the case that we are readying against the FDA, to allow us to take back the word cure, the word treat, the word mitigate, the word prevent, and the word diagnose with reference to any nutrient. We must avoid using the word medicine with anything that we want to keep on the market. The FDA, my friends, is listening through their friends at DHS and NSA and God knows where. And we cannot refer to these substances, these nutrient substances, as medicines. That will instantly precipitate the claim again, the reasserted claim from these despicable creatures that claim to be the regulators in our government, that this is an untested medicine, an unapproved medicine. As an
Vinny Eastwood, always a pleasure trying to make light of genocide. Welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much. It's always my honour to be here when I actually remember and get reminded. Thank you so much for reminding me, by the way, Matt, because the people who have spoken so far tonight are like so up there on my respect hit list that it's unbelievable. And I mean that in a good way. I'm Vinny Eastwood from the Vinny enough to keep continuing to tell this story as nobody's ever heard it before. There's no tenseness, there's no pressure, there's no preparation. It's simply two people sitting down having a conversation. And it's fun. And that's the main ingredient that I try to inject into the show because I believe it's the most important in a world so full of darkness, fear, craziness, psychopaths and scumbaggery. We have to have fun. Otherwise, there's not really much point to living.
Well, they say humor is medicine as well. They say or have done studies that humor does heal the body. So I guess we're back to the same mindset, using food as medicine and then using humor as medicine, all about healing the body. So welcome this evening, Vinny. Okay, all the way up there in Washington State in the United States, Suzanne Polzo got a brand new radio show going on. Welcome.
Yes, Hardline Radio is back on the air on American Freedom Radio, which is, in my opinion, the only station that is run by a man with the highest morals and in ethics and integrity in this entire industry.
eastwoodshow.com. I've survived for the last 8 years almost entirely on listener donations and support because I have pretty much anybody on my show talk about any topic for as long as they want to talk about it until they either, if they're lying, have enough rope to hang themselves with, or if they're telling the truth, they have enough time to tell their story in the full completeness with somebody who is going to make light of the situation so they feel comfortable